What's this over there?
Yeah, and I wrote a little bit of it. Obviously, but they probably ain't gonna wrap up till about 3 o'clock. Wow.
Yeah, the only better difference is probably Saturday. Yeah. Yeah, you gotta get a good cartridge. You gotta get a smoking cartridge. It's pretty good. You did. You got that. Yeah. Really. Don't scare me like this. They told oh, where'd you get out here? Right. We'll let it know. Yes. So I thought that it would be more. We were like in a very. It would not have been a use. I mean, it would probably be but it would not have been. I got a big. Back in 15 minutes. 15 minutes.
Good afternoon. We interrupt programming for an update on a story we first told you about last night. We are on standby as the Columbia-Richland Fire Department and Richland County Coroner's Office, they're preparing to hold a joint press conference to provide an update on yesterday's fire at Whispering Pines Apartments. That's on Green Lawn Drive, right off of Gardner's Ferry Road. Fire crews were called to that apartment complex around 6:30 last night due to a large blaze that left all 8 units in that building damaged. When crews arrived on the scene, they found heavy fire and smoke coming from one of the buildings. Several people had to be rescued. Let's check in now.
There was another person that was brought out that the firefighters had to actually work on that person before the other EMS was able to transport them. So right now, we got significant damages here to this apartment complex, to this building anyway. And what we're looking at, the cause of this fire is going to be from a device that they had sitting up on a little stand, and it was plugged into an outlet that was behind the couch. There's some apparent arcing that went on, as also a breaker that was tripped. So we're attributing this fire to that device that was sitting on top of that. And what we're saying is that it happened in or around this device that was plugged into this outlet that was plugged in behind the couch. So that's what we're attributing the fire to. We had about 12 people that were being displaced. This particular building, it has 8 apartments to it, but I think only 7 of them were occupied. We did call Red Cross to get them some assistance, so that's kind of gist of it. I was asked about smoke alarms. I'm not sure if the smoke alarms were activated or not, or whether they worked. I don't think we heard any smoke alarms, and so that's kind of one thing we're looking at as well.
Firewalls in this building?
This probably, and I didn't really, they probably had firewalls on the inside as far as in the hallway, but nothing going up through the ceiling.
And when you say victims, what is the status of these victims?
Well, I'll let the coroner talk about that, okay?
And as far as the fire, how many units were damaged in the fire?
We had all the units on the second floor were damaged. Your fire unit, where the fire started, it got significant damages, and because it did lap out into the hallway, it got up in the ceiling, and so we got damage in the ceiling going across. Also, the doors, because they were closed, so most of the damage to the other apartments are actually on the outside of the door.
How long did it take to put this fire out?
I'm not sure, but it probably took about, I would think, close to 30 or 40 minutes to bring it under control. Well, right now they do have a company on scene. They're boarding up the structure, and I guess it'll be determined to whatever timeline it takes them to make the repairs.
We know what kind of device this was?
For what we can see, it looked like some type of one of those water things that had like rocks in it, like a waterfall type thing. That's kind of what it looks like. But again, when I say that contributor, I'm saying that it happened in or around that device to cause a short. Because I'm not going to say that I'm going to pinpoint that as a culprit. However, it happened in and around. We do know it's electrical.
So this investigation is still ongoing?
Well, as far as we're concerned, we've got the cause. Maybe the coroner can give you a little more as far as any type of investigation that the coroner's office is doing. I mean, that would totally be up to her.
Do you know where the fire might have traveled from, how it spread?
Well, we do know that the fire started in the living room, and it spread throughout the apartment.
And do you know which unit that started in?
It actually started in the unit where we found the persons in. I don't have the unit number.
That's the one that's boarded up right now?
Yes, the one that's being boarded up. That's where it started at.
And is it on the left side or right side?
I guess if you're facing, going up the stairs, it'd be on your left-hand side at the top of the stairs to the front. And again, the fire started in the living room and spread throughout.
And this was on the second floor, correct?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Do you know about how much, like, cost
Damage?
would be?
We're probably looking at somewhere in around maybe $300,000 for damages. I mean, everything's so expensive now, so we can give a cost estimate, but obviously the insurance company will get the final say-so on what the damages are.
The coroner's office can confirm that there was one fatality of a 6-year-old. His name is Nathan Archie. He was a student in kindergarten here locally in Richland County, and he is deceased. His 9-year-old sister is in critical condition. And so as you guys are broadcasting this, I hope that the people watching will pray for his sister. She is in critical condition, and we hope that she pulls through. I'll answer any questions that you have.
Were the victims in the home very young with that device?
Yes.
Have you also been done on this young man yet, or do you know the cause of death? Or
I didn't hear you.
what do you know what the cause of death yet is? Or still
We're investigating it. We're running several tests in toxicology. We're looking for a carboxyhemoglobin to see if the carbon, to see how much of the carbon dioxide may have attached itself to the red blood cells. We're looking to see if there was any soot found in the lungs or in the airway, to see if he was actually breathing when the fire kind of overtook the structure. So we've completed the autopsy, but there's still some things that we have to look for in more detail.
Was it just the brother and sister in the home, or was it parents as well?
So at the time that the fire department showed up, there were 2 people inside, and they were a 6-year-old and 9-year-old. There was not a parent in the home at the time.
When they arrived to the scene, were the victims already, was the one victim already deceased, or?
The fire department worked diligently to resuscitate the 6-year-old. They worked him for a very long time. Even on the way to the hospital, EMS worked diligently to bring him back, but unfortunately he succumbed to his injuries.
Have the parents or guardians been notified or contacted?
Yes.
Is there a criminal investigation going on with that?
There's always a criminal investigation going on when you have the death of a child. In the state of South Carolina, we investigate all deaths of children as if they are homicides until we can prove otherwise.
Is there any information on where they were when the fire took place?
That information is not being released at this time, and if we decide to release it, it will be done through the police department.
And can we have that name again? The name?
Nathan Archie.
How do you spell it?
NathanArchie. Are there any other questions?
Do you know who the parents were at the time, or if there were any guardians nearby?
What we can say is that when the fire department showed up, that there were 2 children inside of the home, and there was not a parent inside of the home. There was no adult figure found in the home. Are there any other questions? Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
And you've been listening in to a press conference with the Richland County Coroner, Nada Rutherford, and Columbia-Richland Fire Department Chief Aubrey Jenkins. This is an update to last night's fire at an apartment complex off Garner's Ferry Road, Whispering Pines. We have just learned that a 6-year-old boy named Nathan Archie, who was in kindergarten, died as a result of that house fire. Right now, the coroner's office still investigating the official cause of death. The autopsy has been completed, but toxicology reports are still being done at this moment. We are also learning that that 6-year-old's sister, a 9-year-old, was inside of the apartment at the time as well. Right now, she remains in critical condition. The coroner also just informing us that when they arrived on the scene of this fire, no parent and no adult figure was inside of the apartment at the time. Again, just to bring you up to speed, this was at the Whispering Pines Apartments. If we can pull up some video to show you guys the scene. Right off of Garner's Ferry Road last night around 6:30, fire crews were called to the complex right before that time. When they got there, they saw heavy smoke and fire coming from one of the buildings. Several people had to be rescued. We learned last night that 2 people were transported to the hospital. We now know that was 6-year-old Nathan Archie and his 9-year-old sister. Again, the coroner just confirming that that 6-year-old, a kindergartner, died as a result of this fire. When crews arrived on the scene, no adult figure, per the coroner, no parent was inside with the 6- and 9-year-old. Right now, Chief Aubrey Jenkins says they are attributing the start of the fire to a device that was plugged into an outlet behind the couch in the living room. Obviously, investigations will continue into the exact cause of the fire, but they're saying that the fire started with that device or somewhere around that device in the living room, an outlet, a device plugged into the outlet behind the couch. 12 people have been displaced, and it took about 30 to 40 minutes for the fire to be put out. But again, the big news coming out of this unfortunate news, a 6-year-old has died as a result of the fire at Whispering Pines apartment complex right off of Gardner's Ferry Road last night around 6:30. We will continue to update you on this story. We will have a live report from the scene starting at 4.